Except the team that you see in front of you, that being your GCU Lopes women's basketball team, who has one more piece of business before they will head to their friends and families for the Thanksgiving holiday. Standing in their way, the Titans, the resurgent Titans of Cal State Fullerton. Two teams right around the 500 mark, hoping to go into the Thanksgiving break in style. Good afternoon, everybody. Jim Howe welcoming you to the 7,000-seat beautiful GCU Arena for a Sunday afternoon clash, and we hope you will sit back and get ready for exciting women's basketball. You've got the team from the WAC, your GCU Lopes, and the team from the Big West, the Titans of Cal State Fullerton. Starting lineups and all the play-by-play coming up on the other side of this break. Keep it here for more women's basketball GCU style on GCU TV.
November is known for Thanksgiving and Black Friday sales. Sanderson Ford is changing Black Friday to Blue Friday to show our support for law enforcement. Purchase a new Expedition with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $7,000 cash back. Save 20% off on EcoSport, Escape, Edge, Fusion, and Fiesta. Similar savings on over 500 trucks in stock. Plus, get a Ring doorbell to help protect your family and our community. Don't miss the Blue Friday sales event on now at Sanderson Ford.
You have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. Grand Canyon University's online degree program in cybersecurity makes it convenient for you to join the newest front in keeping your community safe. GCU teaches you how to secure and protect a virtual environment. Join the growing field of cybersecurity.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Jim Howe back here at GCU Arena as we get ready for this Sunday afternoon clash between Cal State Fullerton and your Lopes. For the Lopes, it is a team that is shooting worlds better than they were at this time a year ago. As a matter of fact, they're shooting worlds better than just about anybody in the nation. Through 4 games, this young team put together by Nicole Powell and her coaching staff is leading the nation in three-point shooting. They are shooting over 50% a game, 54 to be exact, and so they love to rain threes if they can. Obviously, Cal State Fullerton's fully aware of that, as were the Montana Grizzlies, who were the last opponent that the Lopes faced up in the northern part of the U.S. early this week. And GCU's problem wasn't three-point shooting. They were able to hit that very easily. Their problem was getting to the free throw line. They shot no free throws in the first half, only 4 for the game, and that's one of the reasons they suffered a 72-67 loss, which got them back to the 500 mark. For Cal State Fullerton, it's a resurgent team under third-year head coach Jeff Harada, and their home opener after 4 straight road games got them a big 83-62 win just a couple of nights ago in Fullerton. And Reyna Perez, who's been leading the way all season long for them in scoring, leading the way that night as well with 23 points to pace the way. So we are just about ready for the invocation for the national anthem and all of our starting lineups. So we're going to take it down to our PA announcer. That is the man known as AC. We send it down now to courtside and AC Carlin.
Women's basketball matchup featuring the visiting Titans of Cal State Fullerton and your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove all hats as we begin this afternoon with a word of prayer led today by Hai Win, a sophomore majoring in business administration here at GCU.
Dear God, we pray for your protection, so no athletes will get hurt or injured throughout the game. We pray for your guidance, so all of us will be able to perform to our best performance with you in our heart. In general, we pray for a game that's going to go hard and go fair. In the name of Jesus I pray. Amen.
And now, fans, please remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The Star-Spangled Banner will be performed this afternoon by your very own Thundering Herd Pep Band under the direction of Dr. Paul Cook and this afternoon his associate, Vanessa Smith. And now, fans,
under the direction of
starting
Dr.
lineups,
Paul
we
Cook
begin
and
with the
Vanessa
visiting
Smith, the Thundering Herd Pep Band, performing our national anthem right after the prayer from High Wind. And now it's just about time to get things rolling as Thunder is out on the court, ready to welcome the visiting team, the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, and let's welcome them as well. They started off in the backcourt with their leading scorer on the season and leading scorer from last year as well, Reyna Perez. She's a 5'4" redshirt junior making a homecoming. She went to Millennium High School in Goodyear. She's joined in the backcourt by Taylor Turney, who's also a redshirt junior, 5'9", went to Liberty High School in Henderson, Nevada, and is a transfer from San Jose State. In the middle, going big, is head coach Jeff Arata today as he puts in 6'3", Jeanette Mensah, as a sophomore out of Rebed Academy in Granada Hills, California. At one forward spot, Joy Krupa, the leading rebounder and leader in block shots for this team. 5'9" redshirt junior from South Hills in Montclair, California. Also went to Westmont College for her first year of college ball. And rounding out the starting five is Carolyn Gill out of Oakland, California. Went to St. Mary's College, a 5'10" junior. Jeff Arata has done a whale of a job. We'll talk more about that as the game goes on. He's in his third year as the head coach of this Cal State Fullerton squad. His assistant coaches, Carly Burris, Sherelle Allen, Jody Page, and Nicholas Milan. Now you see that the lights have dimmed. Time for the introduction of the hometown Lopes. Under head coach Nicole Powell and Jada Holland making her third straight start at point guard. Jada, the 5'6" freshman out of Bishop O'Dowd High School in Pleasanton, California, and it's a big day for her. We'll talk more about that as we go along. Joining her in the backcourt is Juco transfer Tiana Brown out of Spanaway, Washington. Went to Eastern Arizona College for her freshman year of college ball. She's a 5'9" sophomore. In the middle, all-wax second teamer from a year ago, Deja Daniel, 6'4" senior, and the only senior on this squad out of Killeen, Texas. Went to Harker Heights High School in the Lone Star State. At one forward spot, Tavia Rowell, one of several newcomers on this team, a 5'10" freshman from north of the border. Raised in Langley, British Columbia, Canada, and went to Walnut Grove High School. And rounding out the starting five, Carla Balog, returning starter from Barcelona, Spain, one of two Spaniards on this team. She is a 6'2" sophomore. Third year beginning for head coach Nicole Powell, the Mountain Point High School star and, of course, longtime WNBA player. And her coaching staff behind her, assistant coaches Brad Langston, Taylor High, Sydney Crafton, and the director of operations is Chelsea Turner. So the Titans come out 2-2 on the road in their 5 games and a 3-2 mark overall. The Lopes have won 2 of their first 3 home games here at GCU Arena. Their lone blemish, an overtime loss to North Dakota. The two bigs ready to jump it up. Deja Daniel for the Lopes and Jeanette Mensah at center court. And we are underway for this Sunday afternoon clash. Glad you're with us. Titans quickly on the run after controlling the tap, but fumbling underneath and getting it back is Mensah. And a turnover will send it to the Lopes. Lopes in their home white uniforms trimmed in purple and gray, and the Fullerton Titans in their road navy blue uniforms trimmed in burnt orange. Here is Jeanette Tiana Brown out front. Now a shot from the southpaw, Tavia Rao, a little bit too hard from 16 feet, and the long rebound comes out to Taylor Turney. Here's Perez. One bounce, she'll fire it up from 12. That's too hard. Scramble in the lane, and Mensa did not have the inside position. And Jeanette Mensa will be whistled for the personal foul. That is the first for either team. So the Lopes moving from left to right across your GCU TV screen. Tiana Brown starts right, now moves left, goes to the baseline on the drive, and as she tried to throw it in the opposite corner for Holland, ball slips out of her hands and it goes into the GCU bench. So each team with a couple of turnovers here in the first minute of play. And now the Lopes look to press a little bit. And a high pass that's controlled at the last minute by Joy Krupa. And they're able to beat the press. Here's a cross-court pass to Perez. And the running one-hander is good. And the Titans strike first blood. It took a minute for either team to get on the scoreboard. Jada Holland playing her third game in the starting lineup at point guard. Inside for Daniel. One bounce, hook shot won't go. Good position on the other side. And Balog will follow and score to tie to 2. Reyna Perez calls out a set play as she crosses the midcourt line. Here's a pass inside. Looking around is Carolyn Gill. Can't find anybody. Now throws it back out for Perez. Perez playing catch with Krupa. Now here's Turney. Tried to drive inside. Slapped away by Holland, and Balog controls. Nice play by Holland for the steal. That was a big problem for the Lopes around this time last year, was not being able to force any turnovers, but that has not been the case so far in 2019-2020. Holland sees daylight, drives all the way inside, off the glass and in. Nice play. Holland has been doing a little bit of everything, having to pick up the slack as Lauda Pieta has missed the last 2 games. Pieta was a game-time decision. She did practice for the first time in over a week yesterday, and she is in uniform, expected to see time. Three-pointer put up and in by Carolyn Gill from long range. And the Lopes lead short-lived as it's 5-4 CSUF. Balog, cross-court for Rowell. Quick pass, low block, and a beauty to Deja Daniel. All she has to do is lay it up and in. Nice pass on the assist by Rowell. And the Lopes swing back out on top. Mensa, low block, battling over Balog, forces up the shot, doesn't go, but a whistle and a foul will bring us the first free throws of the afternoon. And Deja Daniel, who came over to help, responsible for the swat on the arm. So Mensa, the tallest player on the floor for the Titans, matching up today against the 6'4" Deja Daniel, heading to the line for the first time in the afternoon. Mensa, the southpaw, able to tie the score with the first free throw. This will be the last game for the Lopes until they make a trip up to Oregon in 2 weeks. They'll take on both the University of Portland and Portland State, 2 games in 3 days. Mensa converts both free throws to give the Titans the lead back at 7-6. And a seesaw battle. We've already had 4 lead changes, and we haven't even played 3 minutes. Brown out front, wants to get it to Balog, does so at the high post. Holland finds herself alone for 3, but that one's too hard. Again, this is the leading three-point shooting team in the early going in NCAA women's basketball here this year. Holland couldn't find the range that time. Here's Perez as the Lopes go into a bit of a zone. Cross-court pass, open look in the corner, and the 15-footer by Joy Krupa is good. And the Titans with a 9-6 lead. We played a little over 3 minutes here at GCU Arena. Rowell now double team, finds the open person inside. Brown, though, can't get the shot. Give it back to Rowell, now for Brown, and they'll reset it with 15 on the shot clock. Now the Titans look to trap. Brown throws it cross court. Holland with 6 on the clock, drives all the way inside. Throw it out front and throw it away. It's intercepted by Taylor Turney. She comes down with Rowell to beat, put up the shot and get it, and Rowell did a good job to avoid the foul. So balanced so far for Jeff Arata's Titans. All 5 starters have scored, and they lead by 5 points at 11-6. 4 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Glad you're with us for this Sunday afternoon battle. 2 teams that have never seen each other before, despite the fact they're just 6 hours away on the highway. Holland tried to drive and then collides with Carolyn Gill. Gill reached in to try and get the steal, but instead that will cost her first personal foul as Mensah will head to the bench for Cal State Fullerton. And Megan Nieto will make her first appearance in the lineup. And for the first time in a week and a half, here comes Laura Piera, the starting point guard all of last year and was the starting point guard for the Lopes for the first 2 games, but has been battling a groin injury the last couple of games and finally seeing her first action in some 2 weeks. Now Rowell gets the pass from Lauda and then picks up the pivot foot before she puts the ball on the floor. That'll be a traveling violation. And a turnover gives it back to CSUF. Perez over for Joy Krupa. They get it in the opposite corner for Nieto. Throws it out for Perez. Open look for 3, and she got it. And so far, the only 3s that have been raining down have been from the visiting team. And the Titans, with a 9-0 run, have their largest lead at 14-6. Here's Ven Laverius, who just came in. Also one of the returners in the backcourt. Here's Rowell, open look for 3! And Rowell finally able to get the lid off of that basket from 3-point range for the Lopes. And they snap the string of 9 unanswered points. Perez out front. They're giving her space, and she's shooting over it, but that 3-pointer rims around won't go. And Daniel has the rebound. Quickly out of backcourt, here's Rowell, almost travel. Able to stop the dribble, and Piera gets it. Piera comes around a Daniel screen, double team. Here's Rowell, finds Vieras open for 3, but that's too hard. Had an open look in the corner, couldn't bury it. Vieras coming off her best game as a collegian against Montana earlier this week. Pass in the corner, and Krupa had to go to the corner and tried to get that foot off the line before lead official Clark Stevens could see it, but no dice. Timeout on the floor with 4:23 left to go first quarter. We got a good one here at GCU Arena. It's Cal State Fullerton 14 and GCU 9 right here on GCU TV.
Wait, let's actually do it right.
Hi guys, what's up? Have you guys ever heard of Ask GCU?
I have heard of it.
I have before, yeah.
What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
Well, I should go to GCU.
It's probably the best food place.
You know, we all love food. Yeah. So probably that episode.
What's the best way to drink a stampede?
Go-karts.
What is your favorite Ask GCU episode?
All of them.
Yeah, thank you.
My favorite episode is probably where they asked about the Chick-fil-A line.
The breakfast one's pretty good.
The one where you guys talk about the best places to have breakfast on campus and everyone said Chick-fil-A.
That's the best breakfast I've ever had.
The Welcome Week episode.
The Welcome Week one, that one's really clutch.
The Welcome Week where Brittany jumps around into people's cars and asks them questions. Remember kids, don't get into people's vehicles.
I just really like you guys.
I just like it when you're in it.
You too.
Tweet hashtag AskGCU to get your question featured.
I'm Andrea, and I'm earning my PhD online at GCU. Pursuing my PhD online at Grand Canyon University is a huge investment into my future. I'm also learning critical thinking and problem-solving skills that I can apply to every facet of my life. When you are working, going to school, balance is key. I really try to practice what I preach to my students. As an online faculty member, I stress the importance of time management, and I demonstrate that by example. A Christian worldview is important to me in all facets of my life because it is a huge part of who I am. And I want to make sure I'm demonstrating that not only to my students, but to my children. I plant these seeds that when they're older, they're also demonstrating God's love through service.
GCU's community is welcoming, whether you attend.
Back to live
We are
action.
all one big family.
Find your purpose at GCU, where
away. Kennedy Shorts just checked in, gets it back, gives it off for Lada Pierre around a short screen, gets it for Jada Moss. Fake the pass, put up the three. That one won't go. And the Lopes a little bit cold from the field here in the early going. That's why they trail 14-9. And Nicole Powell going to her bench, try and get a spark. Open look. This is also one of the bench players for Cal State Fullerton, but Catherine Neff is long from three-point range. And here's Jada Moss. Moss brings it in the front court, give it to Pieta. Pieta, the 5'9" sophomore from Barcelona. Dribbles to the right side for Moss. Now Moss dribbles it off her foot, scramble underneath. Perez able to take it away from two different Lopes. Hands it off for Taylor Turney. She'll go down, put it up, and miss the lay-in. Rebound to Krupa. Fullerton with another try. Nieto out for Perez. Fake the shot, instead get it inside. And a beautiful pass to Taylor Turney. She will lay it up and in. And Nicole Powell, upset with that defensive set, is going to call a quick timeout. That'll give us a chance to run down our Sanderson Ford keys to the game, and you've already seen some of them put into action. Brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Who'll stop the rain? Well, so far, it's been the cold shooting of the Lopes, who come in raining threes as the most potent three-point shooting team in the nation. In fact, they shoot 54%, and Fullerton only 29, but it's the Titans so far that have been the warm ones from behind the arc. Stars and Stripes, well, the problem for GCU, especially in their last loss at Montana, was not getting to that free throw line. If they can get to the charity stripe more than 4 times in the game, good things should happen, and you never get a second chance to make a first impression. These two teams, despite the fact they have spent the first 30 years of GCU women's basketball's existence just 6 hours away, are playing for the first time. So GCU wants to strike first blood in this new rivalry, and they have the ball trailing by 7. Here's an open look for Shorts, puts it up, rolls around and off. Balog able to fight for the rebound, and a second opportunity, this time down the floor. Pieta, open look, three-pointer, air ball. Balog fighting inside with two different Titans. Looked at the referee as it slipped out of her hands out of bounds, and they say, nope, we saw it. So the Titans with the basketball. They've led by as many as 8, and they have a 16-9 lead at the moment. Out front is Catherine Neff. Hands off for Perez. She'll spin on Piera, get up in the air, give it to Nieto. Quick baseline jumper is good. And the Titans right now on all cylinders. And they have their largest lead. They have doubled it up on the Lopes in the first 7.5 minutes at 18-9. Pieta takes the dribble to the right side. Here's Tiana Brown. Brown looking to get in the scoring column for the first time this afternoon. 16 on the shot clock, lob inside for Balog. Balog start right, spin left, put it up off the glass and get it. She didn't have much of an angle, but Carla took advantage of it, and that's her second field goal. Quickly up at the Titans. Lob over the top, too hard for Nieto. It's off her hands, and Pieta, right place, right time, makes the steal. Inside of 2 minutes left to go in this fast-moving first quarter. Pieta will drive through the defense. Lob on the opposite side for Vieras. Baseline intended for Shorts. Nieto came over and made up the ground, knocked it out of bounds. And the Lopes will keep possession. Jeanette Mensah returning to the Titans lineup in the middle. All 6'3" of her. Inbounds pass off the hands of Pieta. She retrieves. Covered by Turney as she starts to drive. Tried to lob for Daniel. Wasn't expecting it. Right into the hands of Perez. Comes down with Vieras to beat. Misses the shot. The follow won't go. Here's a third shot put up, and this time it goes for Carolyn Gill. So the Titans very active in the transition and very active in the passing lanes, and it's resulted in a 9-point edge as we move towards the 1 minute mark. Here's Brown from 3, too hard. Long rebound to Taylor Turney. Turney wants to run 3-on-3. Perez will pull up from 15 and get it. And the Titans right now running away with it with a 22-11 lead, first double-digit lead of the afternoon for either squad. And we're under a minute left to go in this first quarter. Out front, Vieira for 3! And the Lopes needed that big time. Second tray of the afternoon for the Lopes. And it's back to an 8-point deficit for GCU. Turney calls out a play. Here's Perez. Inside, knocked away from Neff as she put up the shot. Goes to the side, though, and Gill with another open look. She'll put it up and in. And Carolyn Gill leading the way along with Reyna Perez. They each have 7 points. Back to a 10-point edge. Lopes can just about run out the clock if they want to go for the final shot of the first quarter. There is 18 on the game clock. Brown doesn't care, puts up the 3, and that's too hard. And now it's the Titans with the chance to finish strong at the end of the first. Perez with 10 on the clock. Pass knocked away. Threw it right into the hands of Tiana Brown, and the alert hands gives Brown the steal and gives Perez her first personal foul. That is only the 3rd foul of the quarter for Cal State Fullerton. And Perez is going to get her first breather as Malia Goldsmith will check in, a 5'6" freshman from Irvine. And the Lopes with 5 seconds to get a shot off. Holland back in, gives it off to Brown. Open look for 3, rim around and won't go at the buzzer. And that's the way this one ends. 4 lead changes early, but Cal State Fullerton finishing with a flourish. And we're through run 1 here at GCU Arena. Your score, the Cal State Fullerton Titans 24, your GCU Lopes 14. Second quarter upcoming right here on GCU TV. Well, get the best gear
and I'm
to
earning
show
a
off.
master's online at GCU in Christian ministry.
My husband is in the military, so we move a lot. I really wanted a school that would support me no matter where I lived, and GCU was a great fit for that because although it's a rigorous program, I really enjoy that I get to do it on my time. Sometimes that's at a coffee shop, sometimes it's in my office. Faith is a big part of my life. I play violin in my church, and I get to express my gifts and worship God. I pray continually, and I just really try to seek God. I really wanted to go to a school that could highlight that and worship God freely, and GCU definitely gave me the platform to do that. Being an online learner at GCU, I've really made a personal investment in my own life that is giving me such confidence to go into my field, not only to become an expert, but be a change agent for the world.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Holiday shopping is upon us, so time to get the best gear to show off your Lopes pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU. From the newest apparel to the coolest accessories, use promo code GCUTV25 to get 25% off just for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up. Well, so far, Cal State Fullerton is getting the job done from the field. They are shooting a blistering 59% from the field, and the Lopes just 38. Lopes trying to change it as they start the second quarter with a basketball. Inside pass, Daniel muscles her way to the basket and puts it up and in. Nice entry pass from Tavia Rowell, and Daniel getting him started, and the double-digit lead down to 8 for Cal State Fullerton. Reyna Perez and Carolyn Gill had the hot hand in that first quarter. They each had 7 points for CSUF, and here's a cross-court pass from Gill, but that is over the head of Anakin Fry, who just checked in, and that will cost the Titans a turnover. Lopes with a lineup of Jada Holland and Tiana Brown in the backcourt. Venla Vieras, Deja Daniel, and Tavia Rowell up front, and the two teams exchange turnovers. And here come the Titans with an 8-point edge. Gill for Perez. They've been playing off of her, and she has been shooting well from outside. Decides to back it out here. Here's Joy Krupa back for Perez. 13 on the shot clock. Step inside, draw the defense, give it to Krupa, the baseline jumper. Off the front of the iron, it bounces on the floor. Mensah tracks it down, gives it to the driving Krupa. It won't go, but Krupa gets her own rebound. Give it to Perez. Fourth shot is the charm for Cal State Fullerton, as Perez able to get her fourth field goal, and it's back to a 10-point Fullerton edge. Holland start to drive. Bumps into Fry, no call. Dishes off for Vieras. Out front, here's Brown. Sticky defense. Rowell, long three. That's short. And nothing but blue jerseys underneath for the defensive board. Here is Krupa. Hands off for Fry, the 5'7" freshman, and a native of Oslo, Norway. Fry Hands off for Perez. Gets it back after she fumbles it with a dozen on the shot clock. Drive on Holland. Put up a running one-hander, but it's too hard. And Daniel has the defensive position for the board. Here comes Holland. Quick pass. Open look. Vieras for three. That one won't go. Rao battling for the rebound, but the 6'3" Jeanette Mensah able to sky over for the board. Here's Fry for Perez. Now for Carolyn Gill. Thought about the shot. Instead gives it in the corner, and the baseline jumper for Krupa won't go. Good position boxing out on Mensah by Tiana Brown, and able to get it to her teammate Holland. Nice pass to the cutting Daniel, and she moves to the hoop for back-to-back hoops for the all-WAC second-teamer. So Daniel now with 3 field goals and 6 points. And the Lopes trying to chip away at that CSUF lead. Krupa cross court for Fry. Free throw line for Gill. Drive on Daniel. Scoop shot won't go. And the rebound owned by Rowell as GCU starting to get more potent on the defensive glass. Rowell off for Vieras. Can't get his shot off. Lopes will reset with Holland at the point. Holland start to drive, double team. Throw it on the right side for Brown. Sees daylight, draw the defense. Give it to Vieras in the corner for 3. That one a little bit short. Daniel trying to tip for the board. Couldn't control it. Fry comes away with it for the Titans of CSUF. Comes around a Mensah screen, looking for room, drives in on Daniel, gets her up in the air, throws it for Mensah. Mensah with a no-look hook shot, it won't go. Rolls off, and Daniel with a rebound. And Daniel's starting to pile up the boards. Holland off for Rowell, square and fire for 3. Oh, in and out, tough break. And Mensah able to bring down the board. We played 3.5 very fast minutes here in this second quarter, and as Perez started to drive, Nicole Powell will get a timeout, and we will take a break. 6:28 left to go before the end of the first half. It's Cal State Fullerton 26, GCU 18, right here on GCU TV.
You use the latest technology to treat patients, but your care and compassion is timeless. And as an RN, you delight in sharing it. But there's always room to grow. Advancing your career means helping more patients and providing even more care. Grand Canyon University's online programs in nursing make it convenient for you to become the expert every patient deserves. Healthcare has made significant advancements, and GCU teaches you how to prepare for the future. By applying that knowledge, you're able to stay up to date with the latest medical technologies. And since GCU's nursing programs are online, you can access your program from anywhere, so you're always there for those most important.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Well, as we mentioned, Cal State Fullerton was just blistering the nets in that first 10 minutes. 24 points and shooting 59% from the field, but they have cooled off considerably as they've only put up converted one field goal in the first 3.5 minutes and are now shooting just 46% from the field. And the Lopes, who were a bit cold in that first quarter, starting to work it inside to Deja Daniel, who has 4 of her 6 points here in this first 3.5 minutes. And the Lopes still shooting 36%, which is well under their season average of 49%. This is the last home game for the Lopes in some 3 weeks. They will be back on December the 16th to host the Rebels of UNLV, and we'll have that for you right here on GCU TV. That'll be on December the 16th. Titans with a basketball. There's Megan Nieto off for Perez. She'll drive. Looked like she traveled. No call. Instead, able to put the leap and leaner up in the lane and score. And Perez, the first one on either team to get in double figures. She now has 11 on 5 field goals. And the lead is back to double digits for the visitors at 28-18. Here is Jada Moss back in the lineup. Brings it out front for Tavia Rowell. Rowell, lob, high post for Daniel. Start to drive on Nieto. Double team, can't get this first shot. Follows and scores, and Deja Daniel starting to become a force. Low block on both sides of the floor. Daniel now leading the way with 8 points. Here's a hook pass inside, and that goes to nobody. Intended for Nieto, but Megan couldn't get to the spot in time, and that'll be a turnover to give it back to the Lopes. Wanted to get it to the cutting Taylor Turney, who checked back in during that last stop in play. But here come the Lopes with a chance to make it a two-possession game as we near the midpoint of the second quarter. Holland on the drive, put it up from 8 and get it from 8. Second field goal of the afternoon for Jada Holland. And it's down to a 6-point Cal State Fullerton edge. And Nicole Powell, the third-year head coach of the Lopes, applauding the effort. Driving shot off the glass is good by Taylor Turney. Went down, wanted a foul, didn't get it. Holland quickly all the way down. Give it off for Rowell. Now double team. Backs it out momentarily as the Titans get set defensively. Exactly at the midpoint of this second quarter. And the Lopes starting to swing the momentum. Lauda Pieta off for Rowell. Quick fire from 3. And Rowell able to find the range from behind the arc for the second time this afternoon. And this is the closest the Lopes have been in some 9 minutes. It's 30-25. Fullerton with the lead in the basketball. Reyna Perez running the show. Comes to the right side with the dribble. Double team momentarily. Give it in the opposite corner. Open look for Turney, but that three-pointer's short. Here's Moss, no-look pass. Holland will drive, stop and pop, and the six-footer in the lane is good, and that gives this Lopes faithful something to cheer about as it's down to a 3-point Titans lead. Perez comes down and answers with a leap and leaner of her own. So the 2-point guards exchange hoops, and it's 32-27, Titans on top, nearing the 4-minute mark of this fast-paced second quarter. Glad you're with us. Jim Howe here from GCU Arena. Last game before the Thanksgiving break. Tavia Rowell off for Pierre. Drive the baseline. Low pass inside. Daniel can't get to it. Scramble on the floor. And a whistle and a foul as Carolyn Gill got to it first from Cal State Fullerton, and Daniel reached in and picked up the personal foul, and that is 2 personals on the Lopes starting center. And she's the only one wearing Lopes colors that has picked up a personal foul so far this afternoon. So Nicole Powell will have to get her hottest shooter in the quarter out of the ballgame to avoid getting that third foul. Carla Balog checking back into the lineup along with Tiana Brown. And Brown with a defensive assignment right now on Reyna Perez. High post is Megan Nieto, covered by Balog. Waits for Perez to come get it. Bumps into Balog, no arm, no foul. Give it off to Nieto. Thought about the 3, passes it up. Shot clock at 8 for the Titans. Here's Gill. Give it off for Anakin Fry. Wind up the 3, misses everything, but it's saved out front, but thrown to Tiana Brown. And now Lopes with numbers. Holland pulls up outside the right arc. Gives it in the lane for Balog. Start left, spin right, put up the shot, score it, count it, foul. Send her to the free throw line. Balog being swatted at, still able to put up the shot and get it off the glass. And now with a chance for the 3-point play to cut the deficit to 2. So Balog to the line. 3-point play converted. 7 points for Balog, and the Lopes have come roaring back. They have outscored Cal State Fullerton 16-8 here in the first 7 minutes of the second quarter. It's a 2-point game. And now out front, reaching in is Holland. Thought she got all ball, but a whistle and a foul as Perez comes away, shaking her right wrist, and that'll be a blocking foul on the Lopes point guard, Jada Holland. That's still only the second team foul of the quarter for GCU, so Carolyn Gill will inbound it out front on the non-shooting foul. 21 seconds remaining on the shot clock. No reset. That's one of the new rules in NCAA women's basketball. They reset it to 20 seconds if it's under it. Now Perez's shot in the lane. Normally it's been automatic. This one rolls out. Here come the Lopes with a chance to tie. Balog out front. Give it to Tiana Brown. Brown trying to weave through traffic. Now for Jada Moss. Moss, start right, spin left, drive inside. Tried to flip it in the corner, but it's knocked away. Stolen by Gill. Outlet for Perez. She'll put up. Oh, what a shot. Acrobatic move by Perez. She had Brown in her face, who had sprinted back to get in her face defensively. But Perez with a double pump gets it to go, and she's got 15 points. Back to a 4-point Fullerton lead. Holland gives it to the cutting Balog as it knocked away. She goes to the floor along with Carolyn Gill. And a loose ball foul is going to be called on Balog as Gill had the ball on the floor. And Balog went down to the floor to try and swat it away. Moss will head to the bench for the Lopes. And Venla Vieras back into the lineup. We'll set the lineups as soon as we get a chance. Here's Anakin Fry off for Perez. Perez way out on the perimeter. Double team momentarily. Here's Gill, inside pass. Balog thought she had the steal, but instead it goes past her to Madison Freeman, who just checked in. And Freeman puts it up off the glass and in. First scoring for the 6'2" sophomore from Camas, Washington. And it's back to a 6-point game. Lopes got as close as 2, and we're under 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Brown off for Holland. Holland, fake, drive, try to get it inside for Balog, but too much traffic again, and it's stolen away. Here comes Taylor Turney off for Perez. Will she take the 3? Yes, and she'll get it. And Perez has been almost the entire offense here in this second quarter for Cal State Fullerton. She has 11 of the 15 points they have on the board, and suddenly a 7-0 run for the Titans, and the lead's back out to 9. Minute 10 left to go before the break. Brown lobs for Balog, sees daylight, drive all the way in, scoop it up and in for Balog. Carla now with 9 points to lead the way for the Lopes, and that stops the 7-0 run by the visitors. Here's Perez around a screen. Give it off for Anakin Fry, doesn't want the shot. 50 seconds left to go before the intermission. Lopes want to finish strong. Here's Perez straight away for 3, and it's good, and they've got to put a body on her. That's her 3rd tray of the game, and back-to-back trays have made it a 10-point lead. Tiana Brown in the corner. Piera drive the baseline, stop and pop, but the 10-footer rolls off. Balog fighting for the rebound, can't get it, and the shot clock now off, and Perez wants to slow it up and go for the final shot of the half. 15 seconds to get a shot up, and the Lopes not pressuring for the moment. Perez calls out a set play, gives it off for Fry with 10 seconds. Perez looking, down to 6, now 5. Here's Joy Krupa. Gill comes to get the ball, fake the shot, pass it off. 1 second to go, Fry for 3, bounds around and drops through. First scoring of the afternoon for Fry, and the Titans, after seeing the Lopes come back and cut it to a 2-point lead, go into a 3-point shooting flurry to end the half, and they outscore the Lopes in the final 2.5 minutes, 13-2, and will walk in to the halftime locker room with their largest lead of the ball game at 13 points. So Nicole Powell saw her team battle back after only leading twice early on, but they will go in with a double-digit deficit as the two teams break. Well, let's check out the upcoming schedule, and it's brought to you by BSN. Women's basketball after today is going to hit the road for a few weeks, but you can catch men's hoops here at home starting next Saturday. That's November the 30th as they take on Purdue Fort Wayne, and then they'll be right back here at GCU Arena on December 3rd when they face Mount St. Mary's, and then they'll head downtown to Talking Stick Resort Arena for the Colangelo Classic as they take on Liberty on December the 8th. And then they'll be back here against Northern Iowa on December the 12th. Remember, if you can't make those games in person, you can make them right here. Tune into every home game right here on GCU TV. We have reached halftime here at GCU Arena in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Here's your halftime score. It's the Titans of Cal State Fullerton 45 and your GCU Lopes 32. We'll take a break and come back. You are watching Lopes Women's Basketball on GCU TV. Jim Howe back here at GCU Arena for this Sunday afternoon clash in a 2-point game with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Becomes a 13-point deficit for the Lopes as Cal State Fullerton rallying with a flourish, finishing off that last 2.5 minutes with a 13-2 run. Now it's time for a look at the Canyon State halftime stats, and they are brought to you by Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. And unfortunately, Nicole Powell is not going to like the stats that you see, although that top one, the field goal percentage, was a lot more lopsided at the end of the first quarter. Fullerton was shooting 59% after one quarter, down to 54%. The Lopes were shooting just 37% after one quarter and are up to 46% because they started working it inside. Unfortunately, the turnovers have been a bugaboo for the Lopes. They committed 10 turnovers, and that was thanks to 8 Fullerton steals in that first half. That the three-point field goal shooting, that's the one that I'm sure the Lopes are most concerned about, because they are the leading three-point shooting team coming into the game in the nation, shooting 54%. Unfortunately, they were only 3 out of 13 from three-point range, and CSUF turned the tables on them. They shot 5 for 9, so they're the ones shooting in the 50% range. Rebounding also owned by the Titans as they out-rebounded the Lopes 19-13. Much of that happened while Deja Daniel was on the sideline in foul trouble. She picked up 2 fouls very quickly midway through that second quarter after she was really becoming an offensive star for the Lopes. She wound up with 8 points, 6 of those in that second quarter. Leading scorers, Carla Balog and Deja Daniel, the leading scorers for the Lopes. Balog with 9, 5 of those in the second quarter when the Lopes were building that comeback. And Daniel also with 6 points in that second quarter, 6 out of her 8. Meanwhile, Reyna Perez has been the story for the Titans. She had 7 points after one quarter, but then just unleashed a flurry, including back-to-back threes to end the half, and she winds up leading all scorers with 21 points. Carolyn Gill had 7 points, but all of those in the first quarter. Cal State Fullerton is going to begin the second half of the basketball. They have a lineup of Reyna Perez, Carolyn Gill, Joy Krupa, Jeanette Mensah, and Taylor Turney. That's the same 5 that started the ball game, and they will be moving from left to right across your GCU TV screen here in the final 20 minutes. Turney gets it underneath for Mensah, and a defensive breakdown to start off the second half as Mensah had nobody within 10 feet of her as she lays it up and in. And Cal State Fullerton now with their largest lead of the afternoon at 15 points. Here's Jada Holland. She'll drive, give it on the baseline for Carla Balog. It's Holland, Balog, Tavia Rowell, Tiana Brown, and Deja Daniel, and the hook shot by Rowell's an air ball. And just like that, Nicole Powell is going to get Lauda Pieta quickly up off the bench, and we haven't played a minute yet here in the third quarter. And Perez maybe selling that one a little bit as she bumped into Balog. And Carla is going to be whistled for the foul some 30 feet away from the basket, and that is her second. So Nicole Powell is going to go to both of her point guards. Jada Holland staying in, and now Lauda Pieta will replace Tiana Brown, and Brown getting a talking to and a pep talk from Nicole Powell as she heads to the Lopes bench. Non-shooting foul. Here's Turney. Again a lob, and again alone is Mensah underneath. She'll score. And it's 49-32. Fullerton on top. It is their biggest edge. So the Lopes with now even more business to take care of, but they've still got a lot of time left to do it. Lob inside intended for Balog. Poked away, goes to Holland. She'll get it to Daniel, and Daniel will do it herself this time. So Deja now with 5 field goals. She's in double figures with 10 points, and that's the first scoring of the half for the Lopes. Out front, Turney fires a 3. That's off to the left, not good. And Rao corrals the rebound. Holland pushing the ball quickly out of backcourt. Here's Pieta. Lauda now start to drive on Gill. Cut off of the baseline. Low block Daniel. She'll muscle it to the hoop. That one's off the back of the iron. Not good. Gill with a rebound. Quickly for Turney. Turney looking for room. Comes to the left side. They leave her open. She passes up the shot and almost throws it away. Krupa has to save it from going into her bench. 2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Turney comes around a screen. Pieta reaches in, knocks it away. Turney gets it back, and now she goes up for the shot. Pieta hits the ball, but also gets her with part of the body, and that will cost Lauda her first foul of the ball game. Madison Freeman, who was a late addition at the end of that first half for Jeff Harada's Titans, will now check in, and Mensah, who has both of the field goals on the ledger for the Titans here in the second half, heads to the bench. Meanwhile, fouled in the act of shooting was Turney. She'll head to the line, and the first free throw's good. We mentioned in our Sanderson-Ford keys to the game how the Lopes had only shot 4 free throws in the entire game in the loss to Montana early in the week, and unfortunately it hasn't gotten much better as Turney makes one and misses one. Lopes have made all of their free throws. Problem is they've only attempted one. That was Carla Balog with the three-point play as Rowell misses the three-point attempt. And Turney comes into the forecourt for Cal State Fullerton, who has a double-digit lead. Gill, lob, knocked away, and it's tipped by 3 different players, and unfortunately the last one was wearing Lopes white, Deja Daniel. So the Titans get a break, and with 19 on the shot clock, they will inbound it just to the left of their own basket. Turney looks, throws it out front. Daniel gets a hand on it, but it goes to Gill, who drives, scoops it up. That one won't go. Good defense by Balog, and Rowell comes away with the board. Tavia wants to run. Outlet it for Holland. Give it to the trailer, Pieta. She'll drive in the lane, throws it cross court for Rowell. Rowell can't get a shot off. Pieta, low block for Balog. Good spin, goes up for the shot, won't go. Took a shot across the neck. And a late whistle and a foul will be called on Carolyn Gill. That's only the 4th foul called on Cal State Fullerton this afternoon, and Gill has 2 of those. And that will send Balog, who's the only one who has gone to the Lopes free throw line so far this afternoon, back there for a pair, and doesn't get the bounce as the first one hits off the back of the iron, not good. Balog, who joined Laura Pieta as part of the Spanish national team that went to the championship game this summer in the FIBA Under-18 Women's European Championships, gets 1 of the 2. Fullerton 50, Lopes 35. 3 minutes gone by, third quarter. Pressing defense, Daniel knocks it away, Gill retrieves. Hands off for Perez. Perez will pop it from 14. It's short. Had a hand in her face courtesy of Rowell. Here come the Lopes. Holland will slow it up. Off for Pieta. Sees daylight. Drive in. Draw the defense. Give it to Balog. Open look, and she'll go to the hoop with the left hand and score. Carla getting more active thanks to her fellow Spaniard, Laura Pieta. Pieta the assist, and Balog now with her 5th bucket. She has a dozen points to lead the way for Grand Canyon. Back to a 13-point deficit as the Lopes start to chip away again. Perez double-teamed out front. Give it to Gill. They want to get it inside, but nobody open. Krupa fires it from 15, won't go. Gill comes in and ties up Daniel for the board as they both go to the floor, and the possession arrow favors GCU. Megan Nieto checking in. Madison Freeman will head to the bench for Jeff Harada. Harada came in 3 years ago for a team that had won 7 games combined in the 2 years previous. Won 8 games 2 years ago, and last year had a 14-16 mark. That was the most wins they'd had in over a decade. Here is Pieta to Balog from 12. That one off the back of the iron, and too many Titans players for Daniel to battle the board with. Krupa will bring it out of backcourt and then throws it right into the lap of Rowell as she tried to draw the defense and then throw it to Turney. Alert play by Tavia Rowell. And Rowell out front fires a 3, bounces around, won't go, and the Lopes still cold from 3-point range. Again, Fullerton wants to run. Here's Perez. Drive on Holland. It's knocked away from her. She gets it back. Give it to Gill. Back for Reyna Perez. Perez with 21 points at halftime, but has not been able to get in the scoring column here in this third quarter. Comes around a screen. Drive on Daniel. Double team. Throw it in the corner. Open look from 3 from Turney. That one's short. Long rebound comes out to Rowell. She has been scooping up the boards here in the third quarter. She'll drive all the way. Put it up off the glass. Won't go. Rowell a little bit out of control that time. Had help but couldn't find him. Now Turney driving in, a lot of contact as she weaved through several Lopes defenders, puts up the shot and gets bumped and fouled by Rowell. So the blocking foul, and they will give Turney continuation and send her to the free throw line. Then Lavieras coming off her best game as a collegian, 24 points on 6 for 10 3-point shooting in the loss at Montana. But Venla comes in looking for her first points of the afternoon. Turney to the line, first free throw is off the mark. Turney trying to salvage one of the two. She comes in to the ball game as a 74% free throw shooter and is able to split the two. And now Turney will check out for Anakin Fry. Turney with 8 points in the ball game, and she is 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Holland and Balog will bring it out of backcourt for the Lopes, who trail by 14. Past the midpoint of this third quarter. Balog drive, draw the defense, give it to Daniels. She'll spin her way to the hoop. Shot won't go. Player goes down. That's Megan Nieto. And a late whistle. And the foul will be called on Catherine Neff, who also just checked in during that last stop and play. That's 2 team fouls on the Titans. And we have a timeout on the floor with 4:48 left to go third quarter. And the Lopes still trying to chip away at that deficit. It's Cal State Fullerton 51, GCU 37, right here on GCU TV.
It helps you understand the world around you. It's your guide through life. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Change is difficult, but Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. While businesses are being transformed by artificial intelligence and analytics, GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation and make sense of the world. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems and sharing your insights, you're helping to build a better tomorrow for you, your community, and your family. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Well, a special weekend for the Holland family. Jada Holland's family making the trip from Northern California down to the Phoenix area because they get not one but 2 of their kids playing in big games this weekend. Yesterday, Jada's brother Javon, who's a star safety at the University of Oregon, had 5 tackles in that surprise loss to Arizona State across town last night. And now Javon joining some 24 members of the Holland family who have made their way here to GCU Arena to cheer on the Lopes star point guard, Jada Holland. And Holland with 6 points and hoping that the family can gain a split of the weekend if the Lopes can come back and get this victory. They trail 51-37, and Daniel, who was fouled before the timeout, will head to the line for a pair. The first one's good. Jada, who has been doing yeoman work for the Lopes in the absence of Lauda Pieta, and both of them on the floor at the same time right now as Daniel makes one, misses one. And it's the Titans with the ball in a 51-38 lead. Anakin Fry being pressured by Pieta, who's playing her first game in over a week after going out with a groin injury. And now, help defense by the aforementioned Holland results in a turnover as Fry called for traveling. So Holland will bring the ball up as the Lopes, with 4.5 minutes left to go in the third, trying to bring this down to possibly a 10-point lead. They've been cold shooting from 3-point range, which has been uncharacteristic for them so far in 2019-2020. Holland, covered by Fry out front, comes around to Balog's screen. Kick for Vieras. Fire a 3, that's too hard. Rebound, Balog didn't have the position. Gill did, takes it down for CSUF. Carolyn will bring it out of backcourt, give it off for Fry. Fry running the point guard spot. They've slid Reyna Perez to the shooting guard at the moment. Perez comes out to get the ball. Picked up by Pieta. inside of 4 minutes left to go in quarter number 3. Pieta now driving. She'll stop and pop from 15. That one won't go, and Perez still scoreless here in this third quarter. Now the Lopes have to start taking advantage of it. Here's Pieta. Cross-court pass. Open look. Holland for 3! Jada Holland able to pull the trigger from behind the arc. And the Lopes are back within 10. 3.5 minutes left to go here in the third. 51-41. Perez decides to play point guard. Comes around a double team and comes around a screen. Now throws it in the opposite corner. Fry off for Catherine Neff. Back to Perez. She'll fire a 3. That one won't go. And the rebound tipped to Daniel by Carla Balog. So Perez has gone cold, and the Lopes trying to take advantage of it again. Lopes just 4 for 17 from three-point range. But let's see if that 3 by Holland gets him going. Pieta with the drive and then throws it away. Came around the screen by Balog, got up in the air with nowhere to go and threw it where she thought Vieira's was, but instead threw it to her head coach. Titans with a lineup of Taylor Turney, Reyna Perez, Carolyn Gill, Megan Nieto, and Joy Krupa. Turney got about a 4-minute breather, and now she has the ball yo-yoing it out front. Covered in a switch by Carla Balog. Starts to drive on her. Now throws it out front, almost picked off by Holland. Perez gets it, she'll drive, has it knocked away, and Jada able to get to the ball. But before that, Perez, realizing that Holland might have a breakaway, reached in and picked up the loose ball foul. That's the second foul on the leading scorer for the Titans, Reyna Perez. And the momentum slowly starting to shift as the Titans have now gone some 3.5 minutes without scoring. They've missed their last 7 shots. Lopes with a lineup of Jada Holland, Lauda Pieta, Venla Vieras, Deja Daniel, and Carla Balog. Holland holds up a fist to call out the play as she crosses the time stripe. Here is Vieras on the left side for Piera. Drive the baseline, double team. Off for Daniel, one bounce. Can't get a shot off. Give it to Holland, who will for 3! Back-to-back trays for the Pleasanton native. And here come the Lopes down by a touchdown. Nearing the 2-minute mark of quarter number 3. It's been a good one the last few minutes for the Lopes, and Piera with active hands knocks it away from Turney out of bounds. Suddenly it's the Lopes, the aggressors. Gill will inbound it out front. Turney wants a screen set by Nieto, waits for it. Pieta fights through it, give it to Gill. Open look for 3, and she got it. And that will get the lid off the basket as Fullerton had gone nearly 3 minutes without a hoop. And that 3 brings it back to a 10-point Lopes deficit. Minute 40 left to go. Holland directing traffic, gets it to Pieta. No-look pass inside, over the top to Balog. She'll score. Beautiful assist, unselfish play by Pieta. Here's Turney. Thought she had daylight, but Pieta makes up the ground. Brings it back out front, and for the moment, Turney playing point guard, calls out a set play. Lob it high post for Krupa. Now covered by Daniel in a switch, shoots over her, and it's in and out. Balog with a rebound. Holland wants to run, drives around Turney, has it knocked away, gets it back. Cross-court pass for Piera, through her legs, able to save it. Trapping defense by the Titans, and now Nicole Powell, sensing that momentum shift, wants to call a quick timeout. Minute 4 left to go in this suddenly changing third quarter. Here come the Lopes. It's CSUF 54, GCU 46 on GCU TV.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career, while also making sure you have time for yourself and your family. Today, you can learn anywhere and anytime, giving kids a look into the technological advances that pushed you forward. Being strong and compassionate makes you a role model through this formative period in their lives. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders and innovators to reach for their dreams. You're giving them the tools they need to achieve them.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Jim Howe back here at GCU Arena. Lopes still trailing by 8, but have stemmed the tide. They have outscored the Titans over the last 3.5 minutes, 14-7. And have finally started to get some threes to hit. Jada Holland with back-to-back trays. And the Lopes got it as close as 7. And with 1:04 left to go in the third quarter, it's 54-46. CSUF on top. We mentioned Jada Holland's brother and the Holland family in attendance, but she's not the only one with a brother playing college football or basketball right now. Mae Bryant, who is missing her first game today for the Lopes, suffered a head injury on Friday. Her brother Hunter is a tight end for the University of Washington. In fact, he caught 5 passes yesterday in the Huskies' loss at Colorado. And Jada Moss, her brother Brandon, playing basketball right now for Simpson College in California. So a couple of athletic families, and Holland with the ball. Give it to Vieras. Open look for 3! Venla with those half-dozen trays. In the loss at Montana, hits her second tray of the afternoon, and the Lopes are suddenly back within 5. Turney now double-teamed on the baseline. Gets it out front for Gill. She'll fire from 14. That one's off the mark, and Daniel rips the rebound away from Jeanette Mensah. Here come the Lopes with a chance to make it a one-possession game. Half a minute left to go here in the third. Let's see if the Lopes try to go for 2 for 1. They won't. Give it to Holland. Holland, low block for Daniel. One bounce, hook shot, good. And Deja Daniel with 13 points. It's a 3-point Titans lead. Reyna Perez, who has been stone cold since coming out of the halftime locker room, trying to change that here, but can't get a shot off. Give it to Gill. They can go for the final shot. They still have 5 seconds to do it. Turney waiting for his screen. She'll drive on Daniel, fumbles, gets it back, has her shot blocked beautifully by Deja Daniel, and that's the way the third quarter ends as the Lopes come into play. And they cut a 15-point third quarter deficit down to just 3 as the two teams break at the end of the quarter. End of 3. It is Cal State Fullerton 54. Your GCU Lopes 51. Well, enjoy coffee, tea, and smoothies from Grand Canyon's own GCBC. That's the Grand Canyon Beverage Company, now with several locations on the GCU campus, including open in the Student Union, Roadrunner, and Diamondback Apartments. That's the Grand Canyon Beverage Company. You can get your coffee, tea, and smoothies from GCU's own GCBC. Well, the field goal percentage has been lopsided throughout most of the game, but not anymore as the Lopes starting to go low block, starting to find the range from three-point range, and are now out shooting Cal State Fullerton for the first time in the ball game. The Lopes 21 of 44 from the field, that's 48%. And the Fullerton Titans have dropped down to 46%, just 22 of 48. And finally, the Lopes, who were just 3 of 13 from three-point range at halftime, have suddenly lit it up. They're 3 out of 6 in the quarter and 6 for 19 from the game. And that corresponds to the Titans, who are 6 for 13 from three-point range and down to 46%. So the Lopes now starting to stem the tide on the stat sheet and especially on the scoreboard, as this is the closest they have been since the first quarter. The Lopes have led only twice and never by more than 2, and that was within the first 2.5 minutes of the ball game. The Titans used a 9-0 run to take the lead for good for so far, but the Lopes closed out the last 4 minutes of that third quarter on a 19-7 run. They come out with a lineup of Venla Vieras, Deja Daniel, Carla Balog, Lauda Pieta, and Jada Holland. Fullerton will have the ball to start the fourth quarter. And they have a lineup of Reyna Perez, Carolyn Gill, Joy Krupa, Jeanette Mensah, and Taylor Turney. That's the 5 on the floor who have started 3 of the last 4 quarters. Here's Mensah at the high post, covered by Daniel. Waits for Perez, has it knocked away, gets it back, gets up in the air, gets it inside somehow to Mensah. Got it through 2 different Lopes defenders, and Mensah will score. Well, keep in mind that Fullerton has scored just 11 points in this second half, and 6 of them on layups from Mensah. Inside, here's Balog. She'll move to the hoop. Shot won't go, but she was bumped and fouled, and that'll be the 3rd foul of the ball game on Carolyn Gill. So that will send Balog to the free throw line. The Lopes have gone to the line just 5 times, but 4 of them have been after halftime. And Balog is 2 for 3 from the stripe herself. And the first free throw is good. Balog has been a force inside, and that's why she leads the Lopes in scoring with 15. Trying to make this a 1-point game. Can't do it. And the rebound belongs to Mensah of the Titans, whose lead is down to 4 at 56-52. Turney hands off to Perez, finds herself alone, and that one won't go. 14-footer, no, but Mensah able to follow and score. And Jeanette Mensah, who has not been much in the scoring column in the first 5 games for Cal State Fullerton, now in double figures with 10, 8 of them here in this second half. And once again, the Lopes make a run, and Fullerton trying to answer. Lob over the top, Pierre to Daniel, but she can't get the layup to go. Tough break. Here come the Titans with a chance to make it an 8-point lead. And now Turney, as she comes around a Mensah's screen, a whistle and a foul will send it the other way as Jeanette was moving on the pick. 2 fouls on the Titans starting center as Gill will check out, and Jeff Arata, the 3rd-year head coach, wants to go big. Leaves the 6'3" Mensah in there, and she's joined by the 6'2" sophomore Madison Freeman. Here's Holland, start to drive, cut off, bounce pass for Daniel, spin to the hoop, won't go. Balog fighting for the rebound. Mensah taps it away from her. Lead pass, Turney, can she get to it? No. Well, the Titans were able to build the lead on the transition, haven't really been able to do much except for half-court offense in this second half. And a little too overzealous trying to get the transition going there. That is the 12th Cal State Fullerton turnover. So here come the Lopes. Tavia Rowell checking back in along with Tiana Brown. They would love to get Brown going. She has not been able to find the scoring column yet today. And Brown, one of 5 different Lopes scorers who came into today, averaging in double figures. She averages over 11 points per contest. Jada Holland with the ball out front. Inside for the paint for Balog. Drive on Mensah. Put it up off the glass, and in Carla Balog continues the hot shooting. She's got 17 to lead the way. 2 minutes gone by, 4th quarter. 4-point Titans lead. It was 15 about 6 minutes ago. Perez wants Mensah to come set a screen. She obliges. Reyna drives around, stops. She'll fire a 12-footer, and that's the first scoring of the second half for Perez, who had 21 at the break. 60-54. Fullerton with the lead. Lopes trying to chip away. Brown around a screen. Open Vieras for 3. In and out. Down into the lap of Jeanette Mensah. Turney comes in the forecourt, and Jeff Arata wants to talk about it. And he will call a timeout for his Titans. With 7:14 left to go in regulation, we got a good one. Don't go anywhere. It's Cal State Fullerton 60, Grand Canyon University 54, right here on GCU TV.
Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
Well, after Cal State Fullerton pretty much owned the first half, outscoring the Lopes 24-14 after one quarter, and then outscoring them 21-18 in the second quarter, the Lopes have battled back. They trailed by as many as 17 points in that third quarter and then just started poking away, working it inside, forcing some steals on the defensive end. They got as close as 2. They outscored CSUF 19-9 in that third stanza. And here, Fullerton has gotten a little bit more breathing room. They've scored 6 of the first 9 points here in the first 2:46 of quarter number 4 and have a 60-54 lead. They'll have the basketball in their front court. Gill will inbound it just to the left of her own bench for Taylor Turney. They have Perez playing off the ball right now, and she's stuck in the corner. And now they go for the backdoor pass, and it works to perfection, but Perez can't get the shot to go. Gill fights for the offensive board and saves it to Turney. Fresh shot clock at 15. Turney's off balance, three-pointer won't go. Fighting for the rebound is Krupa, saves it on the baseline. Well, the Lopes have had the hustle points here in this second half, but here comes Fullerton. Three-pointer not good by Freeman. Krupa this time can't control the board. And the Lopes dodge not 1, not 2, but 3 bullets that time down the floor. Holland will set up. Perez with a defensive assignment on her. Give it to Brown. Brown start to drive. Kick in the corner. Vieras fire 3. Here comes Venla and the Lopes as she cuts that deficit in half. One possession game, 60-57, Cal State Fullerton. Perez on the drive. She'll kick in the corner. Krupa trying to answer. That's in and out, not good. Holland with a rebound. Here come the purple and white of GCU. Holland going coast to coast. Scoop it up and in. Jada Holland going the length of the floor. It's a 1-point game. 4 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Hope you're enjoying it here at the arena. Turney stop, throw it in the corner for Gill. Fire a 14-footer and get it. And Carolyn Gill, when Perez has been cold, has been the one answering back with the key hoops. Gill now with 5 field goals and a dozen points. And it's back to a 3-point Cal State Fullerton lead. Vieras out front. Can't get the shot this time. Double teamed as she brings it around the horn right side for Tiana Brown. Brown waits for a Daniel pick. Now dribbles it off the foot of Freeman. It's a live ball. And now they say it's a back and over violation. It looked like it went off the foot of Freeman, but they say it was last touched by the Lopes. So a turnover at the wrong time for GCU as Brown will check out. And Lauda Pieta got a quick breather on the Lopes bench. She'll check back in. Official Shelly Nakasone wants to make sure Gill's set before she inbounds, and she does. Now Taylor Turney with the ball out front. They keep it on the perimeter. Now pass to the low block for Krupa, who was cutting without the basketball. She gets it and puts it in. A design play that worked to perfection by Jeff Harada's team. 64-59. Lopes had gotten it to 1. Holland around a screen, give it to an open Piera. She'll pass up the outside look, drive inside, give it to Daniel. The spin, the hook shot's good. Deja Daniel with a big game, 15 points now for the Lopes starting center. Back to a one-possession game as we've passed the midpoint of the fourth quarter. Perez around a screen, gets up in the air, give it to Turney. Turney directing traffic. She backs it out, waits for a Freeman screen, splits the defense, drive inside, give it off for Perez, open look for 3, it's short. Rebound goes through the hands of Rowell, and it's saved by Cal State Fullerton's Taylor Turney. She'll drive, scoop it up, won't go. Vieras thought she played perfect defense, but lead official Kirk Stevens disagrees. First personal on Vieras, first team foul on the Lopes here in this fourth quarter. Rowell checks out. Carla Balog got a quick breather on the Lopes bench. And the Lopes leading scorer with 17 points will stand on the side of the lane as Turney heads to the free throw line. First free throw, bounds around and drops through. Taylor now 3 for 5 from the stripe. And as a team, Cal State Fullerton 5 for 7 on the game. That one in and out, but it goes off the hands of Balog, out of bounds. So the Titans get a break and a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. Perez will inbound it to the right of her own basket. And does so to Taylor Turney, who has been running the point guard spot. Now a pass to Freeman, and they left her alone, and she'll score. Well, they did the pick and roll, and nobody went with Freeman, who got an uncontested layup. That's her second field goal. Pieta fires a 14-footer, won't go, but wait a minute. Offensive foul called on Pieta before the shot, and that's her second. And Nicole Powell, sensing a momentum shift, wants a very quick 30-second timeout. 4 minutes, 4 seconds left to go. It's the Titans of Cal State Fullerton 67, your GCU Lopes 61 right here on GCU TV.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Lopes have squared up and now lead the field goal shooting wars. They are shooting 49% from the field. That's steadily gone up since the first quarter, but they've been out-rebounded 30-20. And that's one of the reasons they're on the downside of the scoreboard. Perez's shot is blocked, but Freeman able to save, but she stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Good defense by Jada Holland, who got that block shot on Perez, and the struggle continues for the Millennium High School alum Reyna Perez. 21 points at halftime, but only 2 points since. Let's see if the Lopes can get a hoop here. Pieta. High post for Balog. Over the top, perfect pass for Daniel. Fake shoot, score. Balog with the assist. Deja Daniel now with 17 points. They lead the way in scoring, and it's down to a 4-point edge. Gill stop. Cross court for Perez. Perez will drive. Back to Gill. Open look for three. Short. But the long rebound again controlled by the Titans. Shot clock reset to 20 as Perez backs it out. 3:05 left to go in regulation. Lopes have not led since the first 3 minutes of the game. Here's Turney splitting the defense. Shot from 8, got it. That has been a problem for the Lopes defense, especially from Turney, who has found a way to scissor through the defense multiple times. Back to a 6-point Titans edge. Pieta around a screen. Turney fights through it. Give it in the corner for Vieras. No look from three-point range. Give it to Holland, who will, but that three-pointer's too long. Daniel fighting for the rebound, but Turney able to win the battle. Turney, baseball pass to Gill. She'll fake underneath, but misses the lay-in. Underneath is Krupa, able to get the rebound, now to Perez. They'll bring it back out with 14 on the shot clock, and they get it inside for Gill, and the Lopes disorganized on defense, and Gill gets the layup. Big hoop for Cal State Fullerton. Back to an 8-point game as we near the 2-minute mark. Lopes desperately need a hoop here. Holland calls out a set play, takes the dribble to the left side. Wants Daniel to go inside. Give it to Vieras. Open look for three! Vieras couldn't find the range in the first half, but has come back with 3 trays in the second half. She's in double figures with 12 points, and she has all of the bench points for GCU today. Back to a 5-point game. Lopes have to clamp down defensively. Perez waits for a screen. Double team. Keeps coming. Stop, fake, give it in the corner. Turney for 3, got it. Huge hoop for Cal State Fullerton as Turney makes it an 8-point game. Holland quickly in the front court. Lopes need a good shot here. Holland fumbles, gets it back. Give it to Piera, drive the baseline. Nice pass to Balog. Go to the hoop with the left hand and score. Nice execution by the Lopes. Now they need a stop. 65 seconds left to go in regulation. They trail by 6. Turney in the front court. Now they'll try and milk the clock as much as they can. Pieta with a defensive assignment on her. Freeman started to come set a screen. Now waits for it. And as Turney started to drive, she's hooked and fouled by Pieta. That's only the third team foul on the Lopes. So unfortunately, that's just going to reset the shot clock to 20. And with 49.5 seconds left to go, Nicole Powell wants to call a timeout. And I believe that may be her last one. We'll take a quick breather. Cal State Fullerton 74, GCU 68. Fasten the seatbelts. Here we go on GCU TV.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
Well, the Lopes women's team trying to get back over the 500 mark. They trail by 6 with 49.5 seconds to go. It's been a rough weekend for the other side of the basketball coin for GCU. Dan Marley's men's basketball team losing a tough one to Valparaiso 78-74 in their opening game of the Paradise Jam in the U.S. Virgin Islands on Friday. And then yesterday, they see Fordham run away from them in the second half and beat the Lopes 70-58 despite a double-double, 19 points and 10 boards from Alessandro Laver. They'll finish out the Paradise Jam tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. against Illinois State. You can catch that courtesy of Michael Potter and the Lopes insider Paul Coro on 1580 The Fanatic. Again, that's tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Here the Lopes got to put the clamps on. Full court pressure, they inbound to Perez. Lopes have fouls to give, and Holland will give one of them as she reaches around and picks up the foul, her second. That is team foul number 4 on the Lopes. So once again, an inbound coming with 48.1 seconds left. One more, and they'll put CSUF in the bonus. Gill looking, waiting, gets it to Perez, and Perez will be bumped and fouled by Piera. That will send Perez to the free throw line, and that will be the 4th foul on the Lopes point guard, Lauda Pieta. Perez, who has not gone to the line yet this afternoon, is normally a 79% free throw shooter. Second on the team behind Amy Book. And keep in mind the Titans have had to do this without Book, who is the reigning Big West sixth person of the year and the second leading scorer on the team, but she is in street clothes today, has not played. And Perez's first free throw is good to make it a 3-possession game. 47 seconds exactly left to go in the 4th. And Perez makes them both. 25 points for the redshirt junior. Lopes have to hurry, but they need a good shot here. Holland come around a screen, drive, inside pass to Daniel, she'll score. Lopes are out of timeouts. Full court defensive pressure. Inbound to Krupa. Krupa, before she can outlet it for Freeman for the breakaway, will be held and fouled by Tavia Rowell. That's personal foul number 2 on Rowell. And again, with the Lopes over the limit, Krupa will head to the line. These are the first free throws of the afternoon for the 5'9" redshirt junior, and the first one's not good. Trying to make it a 3-possession game again with 36.7 seconds on the clock. Second free throw's good. 7-point game. Holland will bring it out of backcourt. Perez meets her at the midcourt line. Comes around a screen, keeps coming. Stop the dribble, double team. Low block pass to Daniel. She's bumped, can't get the shot to go. No harm, no foul. Freeman with the rebound. Gives it to Perez. She'll be fouled with 24.4 seconds to go. And Daniel, upset with herself. Looked like she was bumped, though. And Nicole Powell, I think, saying something to the refereeing crew. The foul was on Holland. And now Perez, who just made a pair a moment ago, back to the stripe. And the first free throw's good. The teams combined shot 3 free throws in that first half, but it's been a different story after halftime. Perez, that one in and out. And the rebound to the side, Rowell's got it. Now the Lopes have to hurry. Perez went for the steal, came up empty. Cross-court pass for Vieras. One bounce, she'll fire a 3. That's off the mark. A dozen seconds to go. Turney hanging on to it, and it looks as though Cal State Fullerton is going to come into GCU Arena and pick up their 3rd road win in 5 attempts. Tiana Brown checking in as Laura Pieta picks up the foul, and that will be her 5th. So Taylor Turney heading to the free throw line to try and finish this one off. And the first free throw's good. Lopes dug themselves an early hole, and they got as close as 1 point here in the 4th quarter and just could not get over the proverbial hump. Both free throws good by Turney, back to a 10-point lead. Again, the Lopes out of timeouts, and Holland will come down for their final offensive possession. That is hit off her knee, goes out of bounds, and it's Cal State Fullerton basketball for the final 3.8. So the Lopes will suffer their 2nd straight loss, and we'll have 2 weeks to think about it as Krupa will dribble it out, and that'll do it. Lopes get to within 1 in the 4th quarter, but down the stretch, Cal State Fullerton able to make the shots when they needed them and made the free throws in the final minute or so. And they come up with a big victory, 80-70 over your Lopes. Cal State Fullerton now moves to 4-2 on the season. And the Lopes with the loss drop under the 500 mark. They are now 2-3. It was the bigs inside that powered the Lopes. Deja Daniel and Carla Balog both finishing with 19 points apiece to lead the way. Jada Holland also with a big second half, winds up with 14, and Ven Laveris with a dozen points, all from three-point range, and 9 of those 12 points coming after halftime. The big weapon for Cal State Fullerton today, Reyna Perez. She did most of her damage in the first half. She had 21 points at the break, shut out from the field in the 3rd quarter, but made some big free throws down the stretch and winds up leading all scorers with 26 points. Meanwhile, Taylor Turney also in the backcourt with a big game, 16 points for the Titans. Carolyn Gill with some big hoops in that second half when the Lopes were trying to rally. She finishes with 14 points. And Jeanette Mensah also with a big second half, winds up in double figures with 10. So now the Lopes have 2 weeks to think about it. They will go home for the Thanksgiving break, and they will next be in action on Friday night, December the 6th, up north in the Pacific Northwest. They'll take on Portland State on December the 6th, and then will battle the University of Portland 2 nights later before they come home. And their next game right here on GCU TV will be on December the 16th. After finals week, they'll take on the Rebels of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. That'll be a 6 p.m. starting time. Again, that's on November the 16th, so we hope you will be here in person. But if not, you can join us right here on GCU TV. Our next broadcast of Lopes basketball will be actually this Saturday after the Thanksgiving holiday and during Thanksgiving weekend. Dan Marley's team back from the Paradise Jam will host Purdue Fort Wayne. That's a 6 p.m. tip-off right here at GCU Arena. You can get your tickets, or you can be right here on GCU TV, as well as Fox 10 Extra and 1580 The Fanatic. Well, we want to thank our great crew, as always, who do just a wonderful job. And we want to thank our directors, Hanku Funsale, as well as Scott McDonald, and all of our great crew here on this Saturday afternoon. We hope it's a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday for you, and we thank you for tuning in Again, we'll be back here on November the 30th as the Lopes men take on Purdue Fort Wayne, and the Lopes women will be back here on December 16th to take on UNLV. Well, we hope you'll follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. So, for everybody here, this is Jim Howe speaking to you from GCU Arena, reminding you the final score again. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton, 80, and your GCU Lopes, 70. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday, everybody, and go Lopes.